Military enthusiasts should be no stranger to the Barren Sea surgical knife incident. The protagonist, Su-27 fighter jet, used its tail to open the belly of the P-3B anti-submarine patrol aircraft in the airspace over the Barren Sea, almost causing the destruction of the latter, while the former gained great fame. In fact, a few years before this incident, another equally thrilling event occurred, known as the Barren Sea Underwater Surgical Knife event, which is the British Barmaid Operation. The Valiant-class attack nuclear submarine was a naval equipment that the United Kingdom began to deploy in the 1960s. A total of 5 were built, and they were once an important naval force for the UK. With a submerged displacement of about 5,000 tons and a length of about 87 meters, it had a 103-day endurance. The most outstanding achievement of this class of submarines was the participation of the HMS Conqueror in the Falklands War, sinking an Argentine cruiser. However, in October 2012, another major event involving the HMS Conqueror was disclosed. The submarine carried out the Barmaid Operation in 1982 shortly after returning from the Falkland Islands. The purpose of the Barmaid Operation was to obtain a Soviet sonar in extremely dangerous circumstances. This operation was not carried out independently by the UK, as the United States also participated, although it seems that the actual execution was done by the British. Stealing a sonar, such equipment, was extremely difficult. The operation certainly involved a lot of covert activities, and the British targeted a passive sonar that made no sound, and did not obtain it directly from the Soviet military, but stole it from an intelligence ship flying the Polish flag. Although the operation has been officially acknowledged, many details remain classified, so the public can only know the general outline of the event. First, the British installed a remote-controlled scissors, possibly located at a certain position in the front of the deck, on the HMS Conqueror, and installed underwater cameras. This allowed the crew to control the scissors underwater to cut the cables and perform other operations. Of course, the camera's visibility was very limited, and the specific operation required a high level of skill from the sailors. At that time, the HMS Conqueror faced another problem, as the specific location of the operation was certainly not near their own doorstep. Executing such a sensitive and dangerous task in an area without their own protection was very risky, as it was very likely to be attacked and eliminated if something went wrong. Nevertheless, the HMS Conqueror did carry out the operation. It quietly approached the sonar array being towed by the intelligence ship in the Barren Sea, confirmed that the sonar array was above it, surfaced to a certain depth, and used its scissors to cut the cables, causing the sonar to fall onto the submarine's deck. Then, divers emerged from the water, retrieved the sonar, and brought it back to the submarine. Upon returning to the UK, the sonar was immediately packaged and airlifted to the United States for research. Looking at the entire operation, there are many questionable aspects. Firstly, how did the UK obtain the sailing information of the intelligence ship, and how did they determine that the ship was towing the sonar array they needed? If this information was obtained through espionage, then other aspects of the operation are not easily explained. Although the HMS Conqueror was an advanced nuclear submarine, how did it manage to silently approach a professional intelligence ship? The fact that the sonar array was released and towed indicates that it was in working condition. Did the sonar not detect the approaching nuclear submarine? After the submarine cut the sonar cable, didn't the crew on the intelligence ship notice the malfunction? At the very least, they should have stopped the ship to check. There are too many unreasonable aspects to this operation. However, in the historical context at the time, there were already many instances of Soviet personnel defections, indicating that NATO's espionage operations were very successful and extensive. The reason why the Barmaid Operation targeted a Polish intelligence ship was possibly due to successful defection efforts. Perhaps the HMS Conqueror received some covert support from some friends on the intelligence ship during the operation. Interestingly, despite losing an advanced passive sonar, both sides managed to keep the event under wraps until the next century. The UK and the US were definitely pleased with themselves, as they had acquired the enemy's technology and could boast about it to the world, which would only provoke the enemy. The victim of the theft certainly stepped up their investigation into the incident, and may have even discovered a series of moles. Perhaps, in order to consolidate their front and save face, they chose to remain silent.